Hello, everyone. For me, it all started with 3 words. No, it's impossible. I've heard a lot of speeches in my life, and for me, the most impactful have been the ones that are personal. So I'm going to share my own story, because I am one of you. I am an entrepreneur, and hopefully some piece of my story will remain with each of you and pop up whenever you hit a moment of doubt, criticism, or insecurity, to give you strength to persevere and to defy all the doubters out there. I think I was probably born as an entrepreneur. But since I remember, I started challenging the norm of a country where entrepreneurship is not fostered, where entrepreneurship is actually pushed to the side. I started promoting clubs in Madrid at the age of 13. I had to have a fake ID that allowed me to enter the 16-year-old clubs. Yes, you heard it right. I was 13, faking a 16-year-old. And that's where it all started. I decided that because I had the ability to move so many people to so many different clubs, I had a good crew around me, so all my friends became my network, and they became my lieutenants. It all started as a hobby. I was really good at it. But it became a real business, and when internet started, I created a social network around it that allowed me to control the nightlife. Since my website was getting so much traction, and it became well known for its popularity, a lot of clothing companies started contacting me to advertise on my site. It was such an amazing feeling. I now not only was ruling the nightlife, but also clothing companies were coming with free clothes to me and a few bucks to spare. It was a great business. But I observed something very interesting. Every clothing company that got advertised on my site, for some miraculous reason, started becoming popular, and everyone wanted to wear their clothes. So what was my natural step? Of course, I created a clothing company. Nothing serious, just testing the water. I loved surfing, so natural entrepreneurial step, I started a surf clothing company. It is ironic looking back because I became so busy with it that I just totally forgot about surfing. Of course, everyone, and I mean everyone, said that I was crazy. What did I know about clothes, manufacturing, designs, colors, and everything else? I was a total disaster. And of course, someone, or in this case, a lot of people, said, Antonio, it's impossible. You're 18 years old. You should be studying law, just like your father, and your grandfather, and your great-grandfather. I could go on and on, I'm sure. Long story short, I grew the firm from a mere t-shirt into a real clothing company, with presence in over 250 stores internationally. I had factories in many parts of the world, but I spent most of my time in the Middle East, Syria to be concrete. We could talk about that for hours, but today I was just given 5 minutes. And of course, in the middle of all that, not to break the family tradition, I became a lawyer. I did not go to class much. I literally came back to Spain to take finals every semester. So yes, while my peers were dedicating 100% of their time going to class in Spain and studying in the library, I was running a business in a new country, new language, and studying law by myself at night. What does that tell you? That if you ever need a lawyer, don't call me. Kabul, Australia was the name, and I was fortunate enough that I sold it in 2007. Again, another story. My next natural step, once again, was to take surfing right where I left it. Against all odds, my friend and I bought a $500 car, yes, $500, in the middle of the jungle in Brazil and drove all the way up to San Francisco with the same car. 12 months, 17 countries, 35,000 miles, 45 mechanics, 2 kidnaps, and a book full of stories. But again, we will have to chat about it another time. I can only say one thing about this trip. Well, I could actually say a lot of things, but I would probably get kicked out of stage. But I'm gonna say one thing that really struck me as important. I overheard my dad once talking to a friend of his, and I was listening just barely in the conversation, and he was talking about it, saying, yes, 17 countries, yes, $500. Yes, my son, since he didn't know it was impossible, he did it. I will never forget those words. Once the trip was over, my natural step was to get into the hedge fund world. In the United States, of course. Obvious, right? New country, new language, new industry, yet again. I started a hedge fund at the age of 24. I was fortunate to create an excellent team, and my business partner got recognized in Fortune's magazine as one of the top hedge fund managers in the world. Today, I dedicate my life to many different businesses and industries, from venture investing to infrastructure, all the way to philanthropy. So the message I'm hoping to get from this is, do not give up. Pursue your visions. For every true entrepreneur out there, no means yes. And the word impossible only had meaning before all of you showed up. Thank you. And I forgot one thing that I have to say, and it's not written in my notes, so I probably will suck about it, at it. We have a foundation that is called the PVBLIC Foundation, which I'm very fortunate to have co-founded with Sergio Fernandez de Cordova. And we are utilizing media space to organizations around the world. And we were very fortunate, we've been very fortunate to be involved with Michael's organizations. And we have donated $1 million worth of media to Opportunity International, and we're very proud partners, and we'll continue to foster entrepreneurship, and we'll continue to help as much as we can with the cause, because, as I said, impossible doesn't exist in our vocabulary, so we'll continue to evolve on that. So thank you very much.